it quickly.
It came through yesterday,
Excellent.
so I've
Well
got the
done.
books. I've got the books here now. So
Brilliant.
God, sorry about that. Sorry for the delay. My wife's cooking in the kitchen, and I'll tell you what, she's a really good cook. And I'll tell you what, smells coming through, whistling through.
You're making me hungry now thinking about that.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, good afternoon, and this is my first one today. I hope everybody is well and doing okay. I tell you what, Lisa, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you, Steve. Really good for a Monday. And when the clocks change, that's all confusing as well, right?
It is, isn't it? When the clocks change and everything is kind of it's confusing, isn't it?
Yes,
You
especially
work,
when like I work with America and so on in my day job, so all of my meetings have just moved all over the place that were usually at certain times, so it can be good and it can be bad depending on how they fall in the day.
yeah, I know, yeah. We're all over the place too. When we get our guests, we've got to work out their times and stuff like that. But at least I
Yeah.
don't have to do that. My wife does that, and other people do that. All I do is research. Tell everybody about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Lisa Cobble. I work in a day job. I work for GE, General Electric. I'm in the digital division of that team. I'm the global sales ops director for the power segment. And in my spare time, I also own Exceed Coaching, which is behind me. So that is a coaching organization, and I provide 5-day challenges. I provide gift vouchers for specific working slots for coaching needs. I've also published a workbook online on Amazon called How to Love Your Job. And I post regularly out on social media to help other people. So
Brilliant,
that's
brilliant,
really what I love to do. I love to help people.
good. And how can we love our job?
Yes, good question. I think that the reason I wrote the workbook is because there's quite a lot of people. It was last year when I wrote it during lockdown. A lot of people were still with a job and didn't, they were feeling a lot of pressure from it because maybe they were the only few working when everyone else was furloughed. And it's how do you see through the extra pressure or the extra stress at times and still enjoy what you do? So I thought about all of the elements that I had in my past and different things I'd tried. And so I wrote a bit about everything, about different elements of your job that you love, things that you're not so keen on, and things that you don't like, and how you can change the way you look at those, and various other pieces like your environment and so on as well. So that it's not just one thing. I think it's all of the elements in the workbook that build up to loving your job or being able to change up your opinion of your job.
Mm, mm. Um, I've written some stuff down and about kind of like about your job. I've got focus on what you do about your job, organize your workspace, make a small change, look at the biggest picture, and ask for different duties if you can't do them. Make some new work friends, discover a new mentor.
Yes, yeah. So all of those elements, there's like we talked about the different types of things in your tasks that you've got, whether you love them, they're okay, or you hate them, and how you can switch things up with that. Particularly, I focused on data crunching in the workbook because that's something I really don't like. But by making things a game for myself, by giving myself rules as to how to develop some of the things I have to do on a weekly basis, then it makes it more fun. So it's being able to do things like that you can twist around the things that you don't like and start to actually even just accept them rather than love them. But it helps to make your day better. It helps to make you feel like you're more in control of those parts. I think the element about finding a mentor or a coach, that often helps as well, because they can develop you and your skills, as well as make a path in the organization that you didn't know existed. They're quite handy. The environment, I talked a little bit in the book about happy anchors and screensavers and things. Happy anchors for me are things that you can have around you that make you appreciate little things about life, maybe not necessarily about your job, but that, like, I definitely always refer to an orchid I used to have on my desk. And no matter what happened in my day job, that orchid kept growing. It still looked beautiful. Didn't matter what was going on in the day, because it just kept going. And that's the thing we need to focus on. You know, things aren't ever as hard as they seem, and there are other ways to get through them. So that's why the happy anchors for me are the things that keep you thinking that positive. You know, you will get through it. You've beaten things like this before, and you can do it again, and that kind of thing.
Now, a long time ago, I used to work in a horrible fish factory, and we used to pack fish for all the shops and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of these jobs where I hated. I went in, I watched the clock go by, and I wanted to kind of like go home or make a story up to say I'm ill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and we all, been in jobs where we don't not, do not like. Have you been into a job that you do not like?
Yes, I've been in jobs or worked for people that have probably put me off my job or made me fall out of love with my job. And it was at those points where I used my network. I actually said to a few people, you know, I've had enough of this job. I need to change. And if possible, can I, do you know of anything? Do you know of anybody in the organization? And so that's why your network is important. So you're able to reach out to the people who already know your skills as well. And if there's an opportunity, then they can help you, or they can
Mm.
promote you towards it. But a job, if you're turning up to a factory and you're working with a team of people, can you look into the team of people that you're working with to make it a bit more fun? Or can you look at developing something on the side where maybe you guys all go out once a month and you get to know each other better, and make that personal connection with the people you're working with stronger? And so it's that environment again, making the environment better for you.
But what happens if you can't get on with them? When you start a new job, say you're a new person, you come in and they can't get on with you, or you can't get on with them. What happens then?
I've had a situation like that before. We went on I had to work with a lady from America, and every time we worked together, we were like clashing heads because she was very adamant she was going to do things in a certain way, and I didn't agree. And I actually reported to somebody who was higher up the chain than her, yet she still felt she could do things like that. We went on a course together, and it was the best thing to have happened to us for that working relationship, because we did something called color insights. So it's like personality type tests, but you learn what color you are. You're either red, yellow, blue, or green. And the mix of that, or you can be a mixture of those colors. And that actually really switched the way we both worked together, because all of a sudden I realized what kind of a character she was and why she behaved the way she did, because she was red. And the way I behaved and the way I did things is because I was yellow. And so that as soon as that happened, it was as if we knew each other's strengths and we worked together much more beneficially towards the whole of the project and the work that we were doing. So
Are you saying it comes down to colors then?
comes down to personalities. And yes, you can clash with somebody, but unless you think about why they're behaving the way they are or talking to you the way they do, etc., you don't necessarily always stop and appreciate that, or try to stand back and think, are they talking to me like this because they don't understand what kind of a person I am? Or do they just think they can walk all over me? That was the kind of situation that lady had. And until she realized I was yellow and she was red, then she just treated me so differently. I think personality type tests and sharing what kind of a person you are in a team, especially when you start working together as a team, it can be really useful, because then you know what the way people want to be talked to or asked to do something, as well as the kind of things that they don't want to do, full stop, because it's not their skill, it's not their strength. And the whole point of making teams work is knowing each other's strengths, right?
Right. Yeah. 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 I've been on a team building course once on an outward bounds. When I had my own business, I took my team out on a outward bounds course,
Yeah.
and we started making bridges with pieces of wood. You name it, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time, this guy, he didn't really want to take part, and this guy, he had the plank for the middle of the stream. And what happened was, because he didn't really want to take part, the excuses we found out afterwards, he couldn't swim.
Well, there
Uh,
you go.
but and the trouble is, so the stream, it only came up to you like your waist. So if he fell in, he would have got wet, but that was it. He would
Mm-hmm.
have, and so so anyway, so he went, and without telling us, by the way. And so anyway, so we're there like, you know, pe- we're on the stream, kind of like trying to build this bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, you don't fall in the stream,
Yeah.
you know, you know. And sometimes, when it's like a new job or a new you meet people, it's about trust. And
Yes.
when that person went away, we had to figure out that gap, how to fill that gap up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So in the end, we did it just. But the trouble is, in any job or any workspace or even in life, sometimes there are gaps in our lives because of, I don't know, divorce, say, or things really bad, something really bad in our lives that's happened,
Yeah.
and it's difficult to fill that space, isn't it?
Yeah. Or appreciate what that space has given you. I think often you hear about people that have lost something, or they don't
Mm,
realize what they've actually had from that beforehand, or what
mm,
the gap gives them back. I think it's always a case of not considering something a bad thing, but an opportunity to switch things around for yourself. So yes, you get divorced and it might cause a massive, upheaval in your life, around, even if you've got kids and things, around all of that kind of stuff. But realistically, you've got more opportunity. You've got more time back potentially, and an opportunity you've learned from that you don't want to repeat. So I think there's
yeah,
always a brighter way of looking at things once
mm,
you're able to. I know it's not always easy straight away.
yeah. Someone said here, this is about somebody about falling in love with their job, but I believe there are a few ways you can fall in love with your job, if you, sorry, even if you do not like it right now. And as I was kind of like reading that,
Hmm.
I was thinking, well, I love my job now because I've just got to sit here and talk to everybody.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
all right. Sometimes I do get fed up with some people, but the trouble is, it's like anything. You sometimes when you go to work or go into a job, it might be not the job that you don't want to do, but because it's work and it's money on the table, say
That's
we
it.
haven't got a choice, have we?
No. So you have to value the job for the money that it's given you, the happy tokens that the money is, and how you're going to use the money, and appreciate that is the thing that enables you to do other things,
That's
or
it.
enables you to live the way you do. I think that's something that a lot of people, also need to see through.
Yeah. And if people wanted to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
I've got a website. It's www.exceed-coaching.co.uk, or I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn in various forms. Along there. So you, by all means, have a look at the website. It's got my telephone number on there and an email address as well that we can start with.
And what is the so if someone came up to you and said, "Well, I need help, Lisa," what's the first thing you do?
So we've got a questionnaire on the website that gives me an idea as to what kind of help that person needs. The original questionnaire was written around careers and around really getting a superhero job, which is one of the things I always refer to superheroes in my
job.
Yeah, a superhero future.
Superman, is it?
It's to make you feel. My strapline is everyone deserves to feel like a superhero.
All right. Okay.
For me, that you feel better, you feel good about what you do, and you enjoy what you're doing, and it does make you feel stronger and more invincible. So yes, that's why it's a superhero connection.
I want to be a superhero.
Who doesn't, right?
What
I think
superhero would you be?
This is a good question. I have talked to my daughter about this many times. She's a big Marvel fan. And I said I would like to be able to fly. I think that's probably the only thing that, then you wouldn't have to rely on anybody else for getting somewhere else. That would be great. What about you? What superhero power would you like, Steve?
What power I would like? Superhero. Oh, I think I'd like to be Superman.
Yeah. So what particularly about Superman? Being strong or another skill that he has?
No. I just want to be go out and help people, if they're in distress and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to be, Superman.
Excellent.
Yes. But on the other hand, I like to be Tinkerbell too.
Yes, I love Tinkerbell. She's great at inventing things and coming up with new solutions. That's what I like about her. She was one of my superheroes in my newsletter that I send out, a monthly newsletter, and quite often I'd have a superhero spotlight, and she was one of those in there for exactly that reason, the fact that she doesn't give up and she keeps trying new things.
That's it. And we all need a Tinkerbell, don't we, in our lives?
We do.
Yes. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Bless you, and thank you.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.